Now Sean is 75 inches tall. He has a blood pressure of 120 mm. So what is his residual? Now, the formula for a residual or an error is always going to be your actual Y value minus your predicted Y value. So that's how we find our residual or our error. So in our case, for Sean, he's 75 inches tall. He has an actual blood pressure of 120. Now we need to minus the predicted Y value. Well, notice how I said he is 75 inches tall. If you look back to part 1, it said find the average blood pressure of men who are 75 inches tall. So in part 1, we predicted that for someone his height, we would have 119.38 mm. Okay, so that's our predicted value for anyone who's 75 inches tall. So Sean would fall into that category. So in our case, we just have to do 120 minus 119.38. This gives us 0.62 millimeters. Now, it's interesting to note the predicted value, that's always the line. So he was 120, the predicted was 119. So we could say something like Sean is 0.62 millimeters above the line or above the prediction. So he's one of the people that's above the line. So again, residual or your error is just your actual Y value minus the predicted Y value. So in his case, he was 0.62 millimeters above the line. Now in part 5 here, Sally got an 81 on the midterm and 90 on the final. What is her residual or her error? That's what the residual means. It's just another word for error. So our residual is going to be equal to our actual Y value minus our predicted Y value. Well, Sally's actual Y value, actual final value is this 90. Now for the predicted Y value, you would have to go and predict what someone who got an 81 on the midterm should get on the final. But we already did that in part 1. In part 1, we predicted someone who got an 81, which matches Sally, should get a 67 on the final. So her predicted value from part 1 is that 67. So we'll do 90 minus 67 or 23. So Sally got 23 points above the prediction. Now, if that residual had been negative, that would have told us that she was below the line, or she got less than we predicted. But her actual Y value was 90. We predicted she should only get like 67, so she actually got 23 points above our prediction. She did pretty well on that.